time for round number 16 here at Pro Tour March of the Machine. I'm going to throw it over to the booth. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Maria Aililoni, alongside Corey Baumeister.
Hey, hey.
And it is, of course, the best hour of Magic.
Winning
Coming
in
right
time.
up, friends. Oh, I cannot wait. 5 of them to determine who is going to make up our top 8 and return on the Sunday stage. We absolutely cannot wait. Reid Yuuki has been so close, but just hasn't been able to cross the finish line yet, going up against David Olsen on 5-color ramp. So, Corey, are you ready?
This.
Let's put some people into the top 8, shall we?
Absolutely, and yeah, with 5 winning in comes down to Nathan Steuer not really being able to lose and make it in as well, so a lot of storylines to follow in this round. It's going to be a really, really exciting feature match area.
Man, I'm nervous for these guys.
I know, me too.
Alrighty, let's get in here. Game number 1. We haven't seen this matchup all that much. 5-color ramp versus Rakdos Breach. How does this matchup typically play out, Corey?
Yeah, you know, 5-color domain here, not necessarily a deck that a lot of players were expecting, so not something that's going to be on these players' radar. I would think it's going to be a lot tougher game 1 and get a little bit better game 2, as you can bring in a bunch of duresses against this 5-color ramp, which helps a decent amount cut out the legs from all the ramp and land fixing. And hopefully that's enough, but we will see.
We will see indeed. Fabled Mirror Breaker, all too familiar on this battlefield this weekend. There is the little goblin shaman that will accelerate Reid Duke if it survives, but ossification will not allow that.
All right. Ossification being able to take out that token, and it's really nice when it takes tokens against these Invoke Despair decks, because then you have this enchantment to just sacrifice right away, so you don't have to give Reid another card and lose a couple more life.
And importantly, not give him anything of value back either.
Yep.
Go to chapter 2 here of Fable the Mirror Breaker. Does Reid Duke want to discard and draw? Looks like we're going to chuck 2 cards there. Alana go for the Throat.
Yeah, and go for the Throat's interesting in this matchup, and it'll be really interesting to see how many Reid leaves in, because you do need that removal spell to be able to deal with the 4 7-drops that are in the deck, Atraxa and the Atalis, but you do not want them early. So it's something you want to draw like 1 of late game, so you can push through damage, but not an amazing card early.
Oh, here we go, Invasion of Zendikar. This is the ramp spell of choice here for David Olsen and other players on the 5-color domain lists.
Yeah, and we saw that David Olsen here mulligan to 5 cards, which is usually, you know, really bad, especially in this gigantic match that he's playing against the reigning world champion. But he has Mirrex next turn for land number 7, and then Atraxa to just refuel the hand. And, you know, with this Rakdos deck from Reid, not going to have Make Disappear, nothing like that to counter it, so that's just going to happen next turn.
Yeah, that will resolve, and there will be a refill of the hand here for David Olsen. You know, just so many good targets in this list. So Fable of the Mirror Breaker flips. What is the follow-up here for the Pro Tour Phyrexia champion?
Yeah, let's see. We can... Graveyard Trespasser, one of the options cut down, going to be basically blank cardboard. Probably the first card Reid's going to take out when it comes to the post-board games. And yeah, I believe you can just play a land and fire off one of these Invoke Despairs. The problem is it doesn't interact with the invasion in any way. So this is just take 4, draw 2 cards, get rid of Ossification.
Yep. 4 damage, 2 cards. There goes the Ossification, as you mentioned.
Okay.
Battle sticking around.
And here comes first Haymaker here, the first 7-drop. Both players playing a lot of them. You don't normally see this many 7-drops in Standard, but this ends up being quite powerful cards here to ramp into.
Exactly right. Mirrex on the board. Tap out, and here comes Herd Migration to kick things off.
Okay, absolutely decides to go with that to get a bunch of 3/3s into play and then have Atraxa as your follow-up. Not a bad card as a follow-up.
Good grief. That's a board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Reid's deck doesn't really play any kind of board wipes here. There's no one of Brotherhood's End or something like that that some of these other Cruelty of Gix decks would play as a tutor target. So these creatures just have to be dealt with 1-for-1 removal, Ailey.
And there's not all that much for Reid, so big things now. He's got Blood Tithe Harvester, Breach the Multiverse, which we might not even get to see this game. Graveyard Trespasser can trade.
Yep.
Cut down, go for the throat. It's all just like, you know, picking things off as they come, but still plenty of damage going to come through from the stampede of, what are they, buffalo, looks like.
Yeah. The one thing, Reid does not have land 7 right now for Breach, so does have to find an additional land here. Invoke Despair is a good card here to play to, you know, hope that you get a land drop if that's the path Reid wants to go with, but can also get a Harvester and start the Reflection of Kiki Jiki train.
Yeah.
And start picking off the beast that way. And it looks like kind of what you have to do.
That might be the worst thing to get started with there. Does have the cut down that doesn't do anything against 3/3s. Go for the throat. Can take care of one of these creatures.
Yeah, or you play a Graveyard Trespasser and then use that last bit of mana to target your Blood Tithe Harvester.
Blood Tithe Harvester, make another blood. Sure.
Copy, blood, sacrifice. Get rid of one of them.
And this was on a mulligan to 5 here from David. A really impressive showing from the deck here. Is just saying you don't need that many cards to do the really powerful things.
Yeah.
Becomes daytime.
It is indeed daytime as it is nighttime here in Minneapolis at Pro Tour. March of the Machine passing the turn back there. So a couple creatures in the way of the stampeding herd. 2 Atraxas in hand. And a plains drawn here now for David Olsen. So let's go Atraxa. Let's have a look at the top of the library and see how many card types we can find amongst them.
And there is a lot of card types in this. You know, you have all of the usual suspects as well as a battle if you do find that.
Oh,
and,
goodness me.
Yeah, some
That's just
huge
big
hits here.
Tolly?
David will also have the option to attack down Invasion to transform it. It's not anything absolutely impressive, but it does turn into a 4/4 that taps to add a mana.
Hey, you can never have enough mana, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in a deck with about 157 drops.
Oh, goodness me. So the rest go to the bottom of the library. That all goes to hand. So David Olsen refueling nicely here up against Reid Duke.
Yeah, and Reid was really on the plan. Okay, I can beat these 5 3/3s over the course of like 2 or 3 turns. Maybe if you have a little bit of a stumble, a weak draw, maybe I can come back. But I mean, with David's hand, the world is available. Atali, another Atraxa. Reid's definitely up against it here.
Oh, definitely is. Now, that's a lot of damage coming over. Does Reid just take it all? So he has some options in terms of copying things with the Fable?
It's close. I would for sure not block with Harvester. You want to keep that around so you can start picking off these creatures, and you get kind of close where you can get up to 4 bloods and take down Atraxas.
Yeah.
And I say plural because there is another one in David's hand. But yeah, maybe you just have to minimize damage as much as you can.
Okay, all right, so the trades there. 4 things hit the bin.
The one thing I will say is Reid's Breach the Multiverses are probably never better because your opponent has so many huge hits that you can hit as well.
It's like, how many dinosaurs would you like?
Yeah, Herd Migration being the exception, hitting that one. Oh, I guess it is Planeswalker and Creature anyways, but that one wouldn't be as good.
Alrighty, let's see. Reid does have lands, has the Breach.
Picked up Blackleaf Cliffs though as land 7, a tapped land. Oh, that's brutal.
Oh, that hurts. Man, so where do we go from here then? Invoke Despair?
I mean, Invoke Despair only hits a 3/3. Reid isn't exactly dead next turn, but, you know, outside of some really, really strong Breach the Multiverse, I don't see a way to come back so far.
He's having a big think about it. That blood token sacrifice to cycle through the deck a little better.
Yeah, and David also just has that ley lines binding available here
Yeah.
for 1 mana. If anything, permanent base gets a little tricky to deal with here.
Go for the throat on Atraxa. Little does Reid Duke know that the Grand Unifier is just waiting in the wings for her grand entrance once
Yep.
again. Her encore, if you will.
Yeah. Now it'll be interesting. We'll see if Reid, yeah, very smart, exiles the Atraxa or his own creatures, but with Breach, you can then take that Atraxa next turn if you're Reid, which could be very huge.
That could be a pivot point here for Reid Duke, as he's doing his best to stay alive up against an overwhelming force from David Olsen so far, who has a full grip of cards. Itali, Atraxa, Leyline Binding, another Invasion,
Yeah.
and a couple lands. So
And at any point, probably has another 7 mana, 7/7 draw 5 whenever he wants to stock up again with another Atraxa.
yeah, I mean, could just go another herd migration. What's Reid going to do against
Yeah.
a board that goes wide, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's a perfectly reasonable play this turn as well. And even with Reach casting Breach and for sure hitting Atraxa, there's still that leyline binding to get that out of the
Yeah.
way as a blocker.
Yeah, so, you know, can't count on that life. Reid knows about that leyline binding.
Right, goes with the
Ooh,
Tali.
yeah. Alrighty, here comes the dinosaur.
So a Mirror, she's tapping for red mana. That's right. Got it. I'll trigger.
Merrick's tapping for the red. One-time effect. Leyline binding.
Okay.
Land.
I'll cast Sandra, then binding.
And it doesn't
Binding, I
copy
will,
the
target-
binding or anything, but
No, just instants and sorceries, thankfully.
yeah.
Oh boy.
And now you have these 3/3s. You can, kill the Trespasser, kill your own invasion if you want, and then attack for 10. That's one of the options. Discard one of the plethora of cards David has. And yeah, really everything coming up David Olsen so far.
Yeah.
I'll go to combat.
Here we go to combat the 3/3 beasts. Swinging in, threatening Reid Duke's life total here. He go down to 9 if he took this.
Okay, yep, all at Reid, not bothering to deal with this invasion at all so far.
I've forgotten about that already.
Exactly. Yeah, and the nice thing about David's deck as well is we haven't seen him a lot on camera, but plays a ton of basics. So normally this deck is really vulnerable to transmogrant, stuff like that. This is a 5-color deck that plays more basics than most 2-color decks, which is quite strange.
Yeah, I was just admiring the Neon Dynasty basics there, but we're going to get Avenger of Zendikar. That'd be terrifying. Invasion of Zendikar.
Plants.
Everybody needs plants. Yeah. Oh, this card with. Okay, now I'm thinking. No.
There you go.
Oh, goodness. Extra land drops aplenty here for David Olsen. He's going to get a couple more basics. Can never have too much mana, except for when you're flooding.
Yep, and now off to Reid. I think it has to be one of these Breach the Multiverse hits where you just get something
Do we get a land?
really, really over the top, like into 2 Atalis, into Atraxa and Atali. I mean, something like this that chains out a bunch of threats, not just 3 cards total here. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, we need something big. So Breach the Multiverse.
Correct.
Let's see. Milton, you mentioned the Atraxa in the bin.
Yep.
So can grab that. Any big hits here? Is that Natali? Is a Shieldred? Okay.
Really nothing great for Reid there. And there is a couple of Atraxas that you're almost assuredly going to take.
My Chandra.
Okay. Atraxa and Chandra.
This was also part of my graveyard, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the Leyline Binding was cast on the Fable here from David, and I don't believe David has another one, so maybe there's a world where Atraxa gets to block.
Maybe. Yeah.
But Reid will have to use that Chandra to at least minimize the amount of loyalty counters from David Chandra. Otherwise, Chandra can just deal 7 to Atraxa and 7 to face.
That is going to hurt Chandra. Chandra on Chandra violence. Looks like we've got a duress as one of the picks.
Okay.
Seems good.
Yep, could
Oh,
clear
that's
the
all
way
in, yeah.
of multiple spells thanks to Chandra's
Yeah.
plus ability here. So, yeah, there is one more Leyline's Binding, but that double duress can hit Leyline's Binding and Herd Migration.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That is pretty big.
And then basically it's just the Atraxa to deal with. I mean, there is
Did
an
you just say
Atali on the
just
board.
Atraxa?
Just Atraxa. You know, I think
Yeah.
Chandra, you know, she could take Atraxa down.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not, you know, canon in terms of the story or anything, but she could do it.
Flavorful, not
Yeah.
the most
Play 2
flavorful for
copies
sure.
of
But.
Duress on you.
Yeah, 2 copies of Duress. So the non-creature spells
So you
get
got
got.
So no Chandra double Herd Migration next turn.
Thank goodness.
Something that David probably hasn't done a lot of
Oh, but that would be so
this tournament
fun.
so far.
I mean, I kind of want to see the big dumb thing, but I also want to see this match play out more because
Yeah.
these players are just, you know, answering each other's threats here. They're going toe for toe at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, both decks are this way over-the-top thing.
To your beast.
Yep. Had to deal with Chandra, so Atraxa doesn't get dealt with immediately.
Now these planeswalkers are
It started at 5.
Thanks.
throwing an interesting wrinkle in things here because now, where does David need to go with this Atali?
4-3. I believe. David has the win on board here, I believe. You can Chandra, deal 4 to Reid's face and 4 to Atraxa, flip Atali. You have 11 trample damage coming over. The Atraxa
that's
already
toxic.
has 4 damage on it. So it won't be a toxic kill, but it'll be regular damage kill. Because the backside of Atali does deal both sides of damage, right? It does deal... Okay.
Wouldn't Atraxa just be dead?
Well, Chandra would only deal 4 damage, but it would be dead after the Atali attack.
Yeah, sure,
but
sure.
Drew Leyline's Binding, so that made the math a
There you
lot
go.
easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when the big dumb blocker's out the way, huh?
Yep,
Jeez Louise.
that was impressive.
That was a game.
Wow.
Goodness me. Alrighty, so both players just throwing absolute haymakers at each other here. Now, post board, which deck gets better, Corey?
Yeah, I'm looking over the sideboard here from David Olsen, and this isn't a deck that we saw a lot of, and there's a lot of unique cards that we haven't seen. So I would assume we're probably bringing in the Tyrannix Rex as just a gigantic threat here.
Seems great.
You would think so. I mean, there's no real way to deal with it unless Reid gets to 6 mana and can go for the Throat It. I'm really not sure how David is going to sideboard, to be honest, but from Reid's side, you're definitely going to bring in more Duresses to be able to hit Herd Migration, Leyline Binding, and what seems like the most important card, the Invasion.
Yeah.
Just ramping from 4 to 7 is kind of what David's deck is all about.
That's the nuts right there.
Yeah, and then probably bringing in Atali, maybe the Cruelty of Gix from Reid Duke's side to just continue to go over the top, but...
I wonder if we're going to see a Topiary Stomper.
Yeah,
Because that's the usual play pattern for this deck is, you know, Topiary Stomper turn 3, Invasion turn 4, and then kill it with the Stomper.
with the Stomper, then get the Invasion flipped and have another body. Yeah, that is kind of what these traditional decks have done. They've been kind of more green-red ramp,
Yep.
but this is a really new hot take from David.
All right, game number 2. Let's go. Soul Transfer, Atali, Sokenzan, Cruelty of Gix in hand for Reid Duke, who starts things off with the Blood Tithe Harvester. David Olsen, Herd Migration, couple of the Cycle Lands, Topiary Stomper, and 2 Atraxas once again.
Yep, and there is the ramp here for next turn, but the one thing about David's deck that is a little bit brutal is you play a lot of basic lands, but then you play a lot of tap lands, and David just has 4 tap lands,
Yeah,
so
that's
not
rough.
able to cast the Stomper unless you top deck a basic here.
Herd Migration, so it's just going to be Ziator's Proving Grounds.
Yep. And then you can discard Herd Migration.
End of turn. Herd Migration. Game 3.
Yep. Herd Migration gains some life, finds a land.
Yep. And Reid has a nice turn here with big score. Knows that in the list there's no counterspell to be worried about, so doesn't have to do it right now. Well, David is tapped out. Almost assuredly going to discard that soul transfer.
Yeah.
Or that Razor Last Transmogrant that was just picked up. And then hope to find a land for Cruelty of Gix here to bring back a Tali as soon as next turn. Haymakers, Ailey. All
boy.
haymakers.
Secretly, I think the players were just tired of the grindy games, you know?
Yeah.
With these red-black base decks, they're just like, I'm so tired of playing this matchup. I just need
Yeah.
something big and dumb. Oh, hello, Breach the
There you
Multiverse.
go. Exactly.
What's up, Itali? You want to come hang out and kill some stuff?
All right, what a top deck there here for David. Top decking the Invasion to be able to go perfectly from 4 into 6. Not quite 7. Still needs an untapped land to be able to cast Atraxa or Herd Migration next turn.
Oh, we all know that pain. It's like, where the heck are my basics? I know they're in here.
Yeah, so Reid's got it all wrapped up here with big score into Cruelty with the treasure.
Tell me out some treasures. Thank you very much.
Soul Transfer, Cruelty in hand. Some more cards here, too, for Reid Duke.
Yeah, and David does have access to a couple unlicensed hearse in the sideboard here, so probably brought those in as ways to interact with this, but otherwise it's just 2 haymakers, 2 ships passing in the night here.
Just looking like Reid Duke setting up for a massive turn. There is the land.
Here it
Play
is.
the Cruelty of Gix.
Cruelty
and,
of
read
Gix.
ahead to return a Tali
Okay.
to the battlefield and trigger it.
Reading ahead.
Big hit.
Hey, there's the dino. Oh, we just get some dino action going here. So,
Fury Stomper.
Duress,
Yeah,
not the
not-
most exciting Itali ever, but got a free dinosaur out of it.
Nope, this is pretty weak.
Yeah,
Definitely.
nothing to hit.
Yeah, and you get a stomper here. Not so bad, but it is ramping Reid up to 6, 7, 8. If Reid has a land on top, can just
Yeah.
flip a Tali.
Why not?
If David doesn't top deck a land for Atraxa.
If not, why not? I want to
Yeah.
see the primal sickness.
Yeah, absolutely.
But first things first, 3 points of damage. Swinging in here. Now, don't be alarmed by the 2 Atraxa. That is the hand.
Good on these.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so regardless, David would have a Stomper to be able to at least jump in front of the flip side of a Tali, but that would be still really rough to come back from if Reid does draw land 9 here.
One more big think. 2 treasures available for Reid. He's got big score, soul transfer, and a blood tithe harvester. So, does he want to deploy the second harvester right now?
Yep, debating if it's more important to maybe have a Tali available or if the pressure from Harvester is better. So with a Tali and 2 Harvesters,
2 treasures, play Blood Tithe Harvester, and make a blood.
that is 17 damage just on the ground. So you don't even need to flip a Tali. So yeah, nice heads up play here.
That's kind of just a win more solution, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Archangel was very much needed here. Otherwise, Reid had it wrapped up with even Atraxa coming down.
Yeah, and has the 6 mana to kick it twice, so
Yeah.
4 points of life.
Both kickers, red and black.
2 creatures dead.
Target, blood tithe, blood tithe.
Nice.
Yep. I mean, Reid, in hindsight there, you know, I wouldn't even say misplay by any means, but with hindsight being 2020, Reid would have definitely rather kept around the treasures to maybe flip this instead of playing another Harvester, which was going to die anyways. So a little unlucky top deck there for Reid Duke.
Great top deck for
David.
David Olsen.
Yep.
So he's got to be feeling okay at this point. There's 2 dinosaurs on the other side of things, but it's okay for the time being. Atraxa needs to come in clutch here for David Olsen when he gets the turn back. But Shieldred the Apocalypse drawn, a soul transfer, and a big score in hand here for Reid Duke.
Yep. So Reid can only play one of these spells unless he starts with big score.
Looks like that's what he's going for here.
Gets rid of Shieldred.
Couple treasures. Soul transfer remains. Ooh, another breach. Only the 5 mana to work with right now.
Yep, Breach was excellent, but now Reid's in a really weird spot because this Archangel It is a 3/4, so it's not doing a great job blocking here, but you don't really want to use the soul transfer on it. You want to save for Atraxa.
You just kind of want to smash with these dinos, right?
Definitely smashing with the dinos, but just debating if you want to kill this Archangel now. And Reid kind of double guessing because the 7/7 blocker from Atraxa is going to be very good next turn if Reid doesn't have removal for it.
Yeah, no, I like that. Keep that soul transfer. It's just an itty-bitty angel right now. Down to 7 goes David. Has a follow-up with Atraxa. And I think Reid is looking pretty good and is going to go for it anyway. Okay.
So now one of the big things we're going to see here with this Atraxa is if David can find untap White Source and Leyline Binding after the soul transfer for Atali. That's what's going to be very, very scary for Reid. And there's the Leyline Binding already. All David needs to find is a White Source to be able to cast this on the Atali.
There goes Atraxa, Grand Unifier. Let's take a look.
And there is only 3 planes in the deck. There's also 2 Mirex, so it looks like there's 5 hits in the deck.
Sunfall, Tapland, Zendikar, Tapland, Topiary Stomper.
There's a Mirex.
Okay.
There is a Mirex. So Mirex is available to hit Atali. So now, all of a sudden, Reid Duke can't just think, okay, well, all I have to do is remove this Atraxa and I win. No longer the case. Luckily for him, though, drew the breach, so is able to at least fight back.
Yeah.
But this game, all of a sudden, is slipping away from Reid.
Sure is, and David Olsen is looking so close to getting into the top 8 here. But a formidable foe in the form of Reid Duke on the other side of the table. So just got to stay on top of every single game action here. Make the best plays. There is Mirex. One-time use for color. Leyline Binding on Atali.
Has to do it now, can't wait until Reid tries to transfer anything. So Mirex only does it the turn it comes into play.
Yeah. Oh man, this is so intense. Look at Reid. You don't often see much emotion from him or reactions or anything like that. Hands on his head.
Yeah, and it looks
How
like
does
this
he
is
get out of this?
going to be a breach. But there's nothing amazing in the graveyard as far as a hit already. There is a Shieldred, which is decent. But yeah, Reid really is going to need to flip over something big like Atraxa's and Atali's off this breach.
Yeah.
What is he considering here? Discarding it?
Wow. What is he hoping for then?
Yeah, exactly. And this is at end step as well, so there's almost no reason to do it at end step when you're giving away a treasure because you can just untap and use that same treasure, so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Transmogrant in the yard.
Okay. Where's the last Transmogrant? With a counter on it.
So now Reid can top deck a removal spell for Atraxa to win on the spot. Did not hit
Reach
it.
the multiverse. Alrighty, let's see what we get.
Biggest breach of the multiverse for Reid this weekend. And David as well.
Couple stompers.
Yeah. Oh, I do not see any big 7-drop creature there. It's just a stomper.
What?
This was as close to a whiff as you can get.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable stuff here. Just not finding anything big.
It's going to take Stomper and Shieldred more than likely, but then all of a sudden, David's going to untap, be able to connect with Atraxa, and play another one if he wants to.
Jeez.
Could all be slipping away from the Duke. Oh, there is a Chandra.
All right. Yeah, she's casually hiding there.
I didn't see the Chandra.
Okay. All right. Chandra can win stuff.
Yes,
we
let's
have seen her turn things around here, so where are we going with this, Chandra? Gonna go get the land off the Stomper first.
Okay, and still has one card in hand. We don't know exactly what it is from Reid. It's almost assuredly not Go for the Throat, or that would have just been cast and won. The game would have been won immediately.
Yeah.
So now some options Reid has is to like attack with both 4 power creatures, it would actually net David 3 life. But then Chandra can finish off Atraxa. And this is a force block, so this is all on Reid. Reid gets to dictate what happens here.
Yeah, dictates the term of engagement here, so 4 damage dealt,
Yeah, 6 to 10.
7 life gained.
Plus 3 life.
4 damage on it.
Yep.
I'll deal 3 damage to Atraxa and 3 damage to you.
Okay.
Back to 7.
So now Reid is really looking to top deck Invoke or Breach with that Chandra to double it up. But we know another Atraxa is there, and another Leyline Binding is available to take Chandra. So David really has all the tools so far, and it's really looking like his game to lose.
That's right.
You know, being at 7, you think, oh yeah, sure, Reid's got this locked up, but no. Atraxa and the Leyline Binding, and his Sunfall even, but I don't know if we'll see that right now. This is just looking so good for David.
And a really cool deck from David, too, I have to say. A really
sweet.
unique take on this domain deck.
And you can't decide what colors to play them all.
All.
Alrighty, David Olsen.
Wow.
Sunfall.
Okay, all right, Sunfall, let's go.
Okay.
2 creatures get an incubator token.
Goes for a more disciplined route here. I would almost assume that we are going to leyline that as well. It would be pretty risky to leave Chandra on the battlefield at this stage of the game.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll just, with the trigger on the stack, I'll just Leyline Binding Chandra, and then I'll search for Stomper, and then I will be passing after getting an island.
A little shortcut there.
I don't believe I have.
What was the question from Duke there?
Have you cut my deck?
Okay.
Yep, so cutting and shuffling there. Huge draw step for the Duke.
What can he find? Currently has nothing but a token. Does
it's
have
a
the Transmogric?
Fable.
No, the Transmogrian's been exiled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Sunfall.
He discarded the land instead of the Fable. Does still have 7 mana.
Takanuma?
Yeah, okay, Takanuma is not great. All the meaningful threats have been exiled instead of put into the graveyard, so Duke can't bring back Atali, can't bring back Chandra. And all of a sudden...
There's a Shieldred?
Yeah, there is a Shieldred. So next, at the end step, Reid will be able to Takanuma to get back Shieldred, maybe an Atali if he flips it over, but otherwise, David, instead of just stabilizing this turn, gets to pull ahead.
Yeah. Got a big old Stomper going there, tapping for a bunch. Where are we going with this? 2 invasions, 2 Atraxas. Holy moly.
Nothing like winning in Magic. And, and reminding everyone at home, we have 5 win-and-ins this time. Just clean
We
5
do.
win-and-ins.
Unbelievable stuff. Usually, you know, there's people back there crunching the numbers and doing the napkin math, as Marshall called it. But yeah, just clean. You win, you're in.
Yup.
Leyline Binding, Atali, Vanquish the Horde, Invasion of Zendikar, Invasion of Zendikar, and
Okay.
a Triumph as well.
So some strong hits here. David basically with infinite resources here, so as long as time allows and Reid doesn't do anything super overpowered, this is definitely David's game and match.
Yeah. Currently up a game. If you're just joining us, this is crunch time for all of these players. They have 11x records.
Yep.
A win gets them into the top 8 of the Pro Tour March of the Machine.
And a loss is out.
Yeah.
You know, there's
no coming back.
Yep, exactly. Unless there's some weird pair down scenarios that we don't know about as far as the 5 win-and-ins.
Yeah.
It's just winning in, losing out.
Second main.
Little chump block there from our friendly neighborhood Loot Goblin.
Move to discards.
Move to discards. Just an embarrassment of riches here for David Olsen, courtesy of Atraxa Grand Unifier. You know, she's trying to reclaim her rightful place as star of the show.
Exactly, yep. Kind of pushed aside there by Atali a little bit as the most powerful 7-drop this weekend. But looking great here so far.
Yeah. So
and David mulled to 5 last game as well, and it kind of looked easy that game.
Didn't phase him at all. So
Yeah.
Takanuma getting channeled there. Just look at the left side of the screen. Absolutely blank there for a brief moment. Blood Tithe Harvester was the pick.
Yeah. And I mean, this is a Invoke Despair. Okay.
Oh,
All
what does
right.
that mean for enchantments?
Oh, it means one of them's gone. It definitely means one of them gone. But there is a Leyline Binding where David could just go Leyline Binding, and I believe you can just either target nothing or maybe target something of your own. No, it is opponent. Exile target non-land permanent and opponent control, so you do have to target something.
Okay.
So no matter what, David
Yeah.
is going to have to sack this, but if you take Fable here, giving back a Fable is fine.
Yeah, that's harmless compared to the other massive bombs underneath the pair of ley lines to the left there.
But Reid has 2 invokes.
Oh.
Sure.
Must have gotten that off the second
So I'll
chapter of
sacrifice
Fable.
This Phyrexian and this Leyline Binding. The one with the Fable.
Okay.
So I'll
Okay.
be taking 2.
Yep, you're 5. I draw a card.
Yeah.
Reid needs to find an answer for this Atraxa before it can gain 7 life, or there is really no way out of this. It's a swamp as the 1 card.
Unbelievable.
Go.
Man, this is so close. David is inches away.
And now I think Miles, after this attack, I don't really see a way to come back besides Breach and some really over-the-top string of cards.
Trigger.
Here comes Itali. Let's cost some free stuff.
I will decline to cast Sunfall.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yep, go for the throat, gets rid of the gobbo.
Yeah, that was maybe Reid's
man.
out, is David thinking that you had to cast Sunfall, but
Yeah. Oh,
a
that would've
master
been
of his
brutal.
deck here very clearly.
9, and you're at 12.
7 life gained, up to 12 he goes. Down to 9 goes the Duke.
Yes, correct. Sorry. I'll play a Triumph. Goody.
Spar's headquarters is the land for turn. What is the draw here for the Duke? Chapter 2 once again has a couple lands you can ditch.
Discards 2 land. Maybe Chandra tick up, Chandra and land to double invoke? No, that's not even enough
not gonna
either.
help.
But maybe because you get rid of both enchantments, Chandra plus Atali might help. Whoa, that is Chandra and invoke. Put the duress instead. If that duress was a land, maybe this was okay because David would have to sack both those enchantments, and then you get Chandra and Atali again.
Man, if that gobbo'd stuck around.
Yeah. Oh, so close.
I don't envy Reid Duke's position right now. He is just trying to claw his way back into this. Invoke Despair on the stack.
Sure.
No Chandra alongside it, unfortunately.
Okay. So there is no more enchantment. So one of these enchantments from the Leyline Bindings going away could do something here. We'll see if David chooses to give a Chandra back or an Atali. I think if David picks the Atali one, we have a game. But
Yeah.
if David just picks the Chandra, I don't think he can lose.
I don't think so. Well, I think of the two things, Itali's just, free stuff. That's
Yeah.
so risky. Chandra, I think he can survive against.
I think so, because that is only 2 damage, so David's
Yeah.
going to 10 here from this Invoke. Chandra could at most deal 5, but, David could just be afraid, like, okay, what if you have something to burn me out?
And
Stomper?
this Leyline.
Okay.
Correct
Chandra
pick by
land,
David.
Yeah.
And you draw 1 card.
Draw 1 card.
Duress in hand. Chandra hopes beacon.
Now, if we top deck another Invoke, maybe you can... Reid could do something here. No, it's a mountain.
I mean, there's
Plus
just
1 Chandra for my top 5.
And now you can't hit Invoke.
breach, go for the throat,
Okay.
double go for the throat.
Okay.
That keeps him alive, right?
Yes. Go for the throw was huge.
Oh.
And...
If I fall over, it's because I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, and it is only cast uninstant or sorcery until next turn, so you can't go for the throat this turn and then breach next turn.
Yeah.
If I'm understanding that interaction correctly.
I'll make you discard.
Okay, the go for the throat was huge
Yeah,
here.
this clears off the attackers, so
So there is still the Atraxa to refuel.
And I'll pass.
All cycle card.
So this doesn't have to be cast now. You know, you can go for
Just
the
holding it in the
throat.
holster, yeah.
Yep, in response to Atali transforming maybe. Reid is
Yeah.
allowing David to make as many mistakes as possible.
Yeah.
And David decides, no, I won't be making mistakes. Now he has to fire off, go for the throat.
Yep.
Second main.
Atraxa.
Yep.
Man, you just can't keep a good girl down, huh? This
Alright,
fallen
here it
angel
is.
just keeps getting up.
I mean, Reid is really clawing into this
Yeah.
game. I mean, at this point, David does kind of need a leyline binding. I believe there's only one left in the deck. Oh, that's a leyline binding as that last card in the back, I
Angel.
think.
No, that's
Oh,
an Archangel Wrath.
Okay.
Beside you. Vanquish.
Okay. I mean, it looks like Reid's going to untap with this Chandra.
That's a
And
big deal.
Oh my! I believe he has a Chandra in hand, so you can deal 6 and then deal 5 again. David will be at -1 unless you can.
Archangel of Wrath.
Oh, gain a little bit of life.
Can
So
gain
I'm at
life.
7 and you're at 12, is that right?
Straight at Duke.
And I'll pass.
Reid is 1 short. Reid has 11 damage with Chandras. What a game!
Unbelievable stuff here. Reckoner Bankbuster. Okay. Flipped.
Okay.
7,
Fable.
12.
So Reid can go at worst -6, 6 to Atraxa, 6 to
And you
Archangel.
can only play 1 spell off of a Chandra plus, right?
That's what I
Yeah.
was wondering as well. I believe
And
that to be
instant.
true. And so here, Reid can go -6, kill Archangel, deal 6 to Atraxa, and then play second Chandra, deal 1 to Atraxa, 1 to face. And that's, you know, the bottom line, the bare minimum Reid can do to at least stabilize.
Yeah.
But Reid is now recognizing, do I have to tick up, and how many cards are left in my deck?
Yeah.
AK, what will I hit? If there's 7 cards and there's 2 Beholds and 1 Invoke, maybe you go for it.
Well, let's see what decision he makes here with the Chandra. On board at the moment, this is tense magic here.
This could
On the
also
big
come
stage,
down
friends.
to milling, too. If you find Behold, I believe that is
2 copies.
Invoke Despair.
double Invoke.
Invoke Despair on you.
Invoke. Okay, so
is
creature,
incredible.
creature. We get the
First
Atali
one,
back.
I'll sack these, take 2 to 10.
2, go to
And you draw a
10.
card.
Draw, get the Atali trigger.
Yep.
Flip, flip. That library is looking
Second
tiny.
one. So this is returning. So that'll trigger.
Yeah, so it's fully resolved the Invoke Despair.
So that was the 1 Invoke Despair. And then
Yeah,
this will
so
Yes.
because I
David
have
is
the
right
second
there.
one.
Okay.
Now there should be an Atali on the stack and then Invoke.
Yeah.
Atali will
Go.
resolve first.
Oh, Atali, Atali.
I
Wow,
don't know
okay.
what this is right here. Oh, this is just part of my graveyard that
I don't know what this is.
I mean, sure.
Oh my, I think Reid
Sure.
only
First,
has 1 card left in deck.
Wow.
How many cards left in deck? Because Reid might have to draw 2 cards here.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Did this invoke just kill Reid Duke?
If it's exactly 1 card, you can't really see.
Atali,
He has to win on right now then. No, but if he draws and he doesn't have a library, he's dead.
Legend Rule,
Yes.
and trigger it again.
Okay.
Last card. And now the Invoke will kill Reid. Reid's going to deck to
What?
this.
Unbelievable stuff here.
And second
David
invoke despair.
Olsen.
Yep. I'll sacrifice the Traxa and take 4.
And I deck myself, right?
Yep.
And he
You're
decks
game.
himself.
Wow.
That is it. David Olsen locking up a top 8 spot
That was
against
quite a game.
that one. You're telling me, David Olsen.
That was indeed
Turn where
quite
I gave
a
you the
game.
Chandra back, I was worried about if I gave you a
Unbelievable.
Tali, you might hit one of my sweepers.
Yeah. Yep, might hit a sweeper there.
Oh my goodness, Corey.
That was unbelievable. What a game. Huge congrats to David Olsen taking down the ultimate end boss to make it
Jeez.
into the top 8.
Unbelievable stuff.
Incredible game. And to be fair, in the top
Wow.
8, we're going to be seeing a lot of decks that are very similar to Reid Duke's deck. So, you know, maybe David has a sleeper for taking down some of these Fable the Mirror Breaker, Blood Tithe Harvester decks in the top 8, and notably not playing Fable the Mirror Breaker himself.
We're going to see much more after the break, my friends. I don't know if my nerves can handle it, but don't go anywhere, because there'll be more after this. Ooh, friends, if you have just joined us, you picked a great time to tune into Pro Tour March of the Machine from Minneapolis. I am Ailey Loney alongside Corey Baumeister, and we just saw an incredible matchup, seeing David Olsen take down Reid Duke to secure his top 8 spot, and we have more places to fill up. Let's get right into it. Nathan Steuer, Brandon Johnson, Rakdos, Midrange, Mirror. Nathan Steuer has been this close so many times now. This is his last chance, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, and we kind of thought, and especially Nathan and Carl thought, when they made that draw, that, you know, this record of 11-4-1 was safe. So they put themselves in that position, so they thought that they'd be in, and it's looking like that's not the case.
Brendan Johnson is down a game up against the reigning world champion Nathan Steuer. Start things off here with some disruption, courtesy of Duress.
No, that's just a peek. That is just a peek.
Yeah.
No targets, and Nathan mulled to 6. That's basically a mull to 5 from the reigning world champion here.
Just discard a card. Sure, you can look at my hand, but nothing to discard there for Nathan Steuer, for Brendan Johnson, I should say. So just land go. Graveyard Trespasser. Gonna get things going here. It's been a story of 3 power creatures when it's not a 7-drop.
Yeah.
Just getting games won and done here. So Graveyard Trespasser.
I don't know. We saw a 7-drop that had a bunch of 3/3s coming with it last round. Sure. That's for sure.
We had a buffalo stampedes like that scene from The Lion King.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh boy.
All right, Trespasser just eat up Duress. Nothing too impressive, but oh, a great card. That is pretty much the reason why Liliana was so good at least the RCs, is Graveyard Trespassers were everywhere, and Liliana was a clean answer without having to 2-for-1 it.
Yeah. Soken's Crucible of Defiance, creating a bunch of little bitty idiots to take down the powerful Planeswalker.
Switch to Knight there, since that was just channeled, a nice little interaction. And Fable first. We'll see if Nathan has a follow-up land or if that's just Fable go.
It's just Fable go. Untap from Brendan has the 2/2/2s, oh, excuse me, the 2/1/1s, and his graveyard on the left.
Invoke,
on the right there, I should
Blood
say.
Tithe Harvester, and something else there for Nathan that we couldn't quite see. Looks like a cut down. So 2 cards in hand for Nathan, and it's cut down and Harvester. Not really heavy hitters against this Shieldred or Blood Tithe Harvester.
Sure. 18 to 21.
The graveyard trespasser comes down as the glutton.
I lose 1.
Gets to chew on 2 things.
Yep.
As it is nighttime.
Spirit hit me. Right.
So loses 1. It's going to be switching right back to day. It should.
3.
Ruh-roh.
2 spells cost should have flipped it.
Yep.
Because it was duress into glutton, right?
Very much was. That should be switching today. Hopefully we can get someone to correct that.
Second chapter, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Discarding and drawing 2 for Nathan Steuer.
Yep.
Finds a land and Shieldred.
And it still should be day here, but Shieldred coming down, losing a couple life.
Shieldred goes unanswered. Nathan Steuer will be very happy about that, but now we just have 2 dueling Shieldreds. They're going to be bouncing off of each other here
Yep.
a little while.
So yeah, this won't do really anything of notice until both players, or one player I should say, gets really low on life.
Reflection of Kikijiki flips. And the turn passes back, I believe.
Yep.
Nothing
and-
doing, so now it is nighttime.
Well, it still should be day. Still should be day right now because
But there was no spells cost
Shieldred was cast, right?
in Nathan's turn.
Oh,
It
did
just
Nathan
flipped.
pass back to Brendan? Okay.
Yeah. It's like daylight savings time. It confuses everybody.
It is a very confusing mechanic, I must say. But yeah, it is still Nathan's turn, so it still should be
Okay,
day.
all right. Alrighty, so get the treasure there. Are we going to start invoking a couple things?
Yeah, invoke, and I mean, the
Maybe.
one interaction we've been seeing is Soken's in, you know, if you get down on early Soken's, most of the time it's a sad use of your mana. Most
Yeah.
of the time you'd rather be playing Shieldred. But when you can just sacrifice that instead of Shieldred or Graveyard Trespasser.
Go for the throat. Takes care of the Shieldred.
And invoke.
Yeah.
You go to 16 off that trigger.
I don't know if it would exactly come up the day to night thing here because it does look like Nathan is just miles behind.
Yeah.
I'm at 8 to your 16.
A lot of damage coming through here from these 2 attacking creatures. Nathan Steuer now down to 8.
Yep.
And another copy of Graveyard Glutton hits the board.
Early and cut down.
Okay.
I guess Takanuma, equity. Go, it's day. Trigger shielded on your draw.
Shieldred trigger.
6.
Gain some life.
All right, now switch to day, and we'll see if Nathan has anything to answer this here, but it looks like he's far
Yeah.
too far behind. This is not a deck that comes from behind too easily.
Shieldred is good, but not great right now.
Yep.
As
like we're
there's just
gonna-
an army on the other side of the board here for Brendan Johnson, who's going to look to tie things up here against Nathan Steuer. Both of these players looking to lock up their spot in the top 8.
Yep.
It's going to come down to the wire here for Nathan Steuer.
Yep, absolutely. And if there is any kind of weird scenarios of pair downs, Nathan's going to have the best chance of making it in since he's played basically the entire top 8. You know,
Yeah.
since it's all his teammates and he's been
Just lost to teammates, right?
Yeah, and he's been sending his teammates personally into the
Yeah.
top 8 the last few rounds, losing mirror matches.
Personal chaperone for the his teammates. Oh, goodness. Hopefully there's space for him. Brendan Johnson would love, love, love to join
Neutral.
the other players already in the top 8. It's gone to nighttime again. So the Graveyard Trespassers become the Gluttons, get a little power and toughness boost, and they're going to make Nathan's life very difficult.
Yeah, and Invoke Despair, normally the most powerful 5-drop here, not really going to do anything with another Soken's in counter in here.
Soul Transfer, Exile Shieldred.
I'm at 5. Like a blood.
All
And then
right.
Blood Tithe Harvester to follow up. So, okay.
Not bad. I mean,
Nathan's
in
hanging
this.
in there, yeah.
having the only Shieldred, it's switching back to Day, transforming these cards back.
Just leave them out the sleeve. I know they're the fancy versions.
Yeah,
but
leave them out of the sleeve for sure.
how
Absolutely.
much time do you think is taken up by just flipping
Yep.
permanents?
100%. Not my favorite mechanic, I will say, for day and night.
I
but
couldn't tell.
Yeah.
All right, well, clean trade there.
Yep. And then another Shieldred.
Shieldred. Jeez, like, okay. So, Gain and Drain will cancel each other out here
Okay.
until we get into an active player, non-active player situation at
Yep.
2 life.
And I believe there was still a cut down in hand from that duress really early on. So if there's something like land Invoke Despair as well, where you can cut down the 1/1 and then invoke, this could easily be advantage switching back to the reigning world champion, Nathan Steuer.
Well, let's see,
There's
there's a land. That's a big
6
old
mana, is
tap
this
out.
Chandra?
Hey, Chandra. Okay, so comes in with
Wow.
5 loyalty and just takes one for the team here, it looks like. Killing both creatures and getting jiggy with it. So there goes Shieldred and Chandra teaming up, the unlikely team up here of the weekend. Swinging in. Brendan Johnson down to 10.
Oh, and Brendan just passes back to Steuer. Oh my, how is he coming back in this game?
And he needs to kill that Shieldred like yesterday.
I mean, we were completely voting this game
I
over,
thought
right?
Brendan was going to tie it up there. And that is Nathan Steuer getting into... Oh my gosh, getting into the top 8. Let's go. That's what we love to see. Unbelievable stuff. He finally got there.
In a
Unbelievable.
very unexpected game there, Nathan Steuer takes it down. I am in
Unbelievable
disbelief.
stuff. Nathan Steuer, you are aging us, sir. Oh, goodness.
Getting a big hug from his girlfriend there, making his third premier top 8 in a row. Top 8ing and winning worlds here in Vegas. Top 8ing PT Phyrexia, and now this. Only one other player, Luis Scott Vargas, has ever done that 3 in a row.
If anyone could do it, it's Nathan Steuer. Oh man, his girlfriend's just like, I told you could do it. I told you. I bet you that's what she said. Unbelievable stuff there. You love to see it. You love to see the raw emotion of these players. Oh, yeah.
The raw
I'm gonna need
emotion
a
from
moment.
us, you mean, yeah.
Sorry if I blew your ears out there,
Incredible.
friends. I got a little excited, but that's just unbelievable stuff. Nathan Steuer, reigning world champion. 3 top 8s in a row. Does this kid lose?
And it looks like this top 8 is going to be pretty much just as close to pod number 1, where half of that pod was made up by Team Handshake. Half of the top 8 is going to be
Unbelievable
Team Handshake
stuff
as well.
And that's not even the end of it. You're like, oh yeah, cool. Let's end it there. No, we have more Magic friends. So let's go right now down to Yuan Chen.
I don't know if I can take
I don't
anymore.
know. I don't know. But here is Yuan Chen clinching his top 8. Unfortunately, we didn't have coverage of this one, but we do see him there winning his spot in the top 8. So congratulations to Yuan Chen with Azorius Soldiers.
Azorius Soldiers taking down Gul Dukat there as well, which an incredible Magic player. Huge shout out to them
This top 8
as
is
well.
looking so cool. Oh man, Corey, can we just like watch tomorrow?
Well, we're gonna. Yeah, we're gonna. We have the best job ever.
Oh, this is fantastic stuff. All right, let's have a look and see. We still have more people to put into the top 8. So what's next? It is André Judd, who had an absolute banger of a draft deck up against Autumn, Burchett, Esper Legends, Orzhov Midrange, Mono White in disguise, but some spicy black cards in the deck of Autumn Burchett. So yeah, let's go and see how this one shook out.
All right, let's bring it back down, Ailey. We got another match to cast here if we can manage. Some impressive stuff joining mid-match here. Okay, a lot to unpack.
Right. Let's have a look-see here. So Autumn is 1-0 at the moment.
Okay.
Has got a Wanderer down, has got a Farmhand down, has got a 1-1. So there's a wedding announcement.
And I believe Judd only has 1 card in hand. There's still a ton of value that it looks like from Autumn's side.
Rona and
This-
Urtai. Autumn's at 7, but looking okay at the moment. So.
Yeah, I mean, Esper Legends doesn't have a ton of reach outside of Shieldred, so... I mean, you can flip Rona here. That doesn't do a lot against this deck where you can exile a lot of things.
All right, there's Rafine, so
Okay.
can get some conniving going.
It's a good start.
Get rid of some redundant cards in hand for André Judd. Urtai gets a little bigger. Looks like we're going to put 2 of these critters in the way. So
Okay.
trading there, those creatures off the board. Turn passes back to Autumn.
Okay, back.
Cycle away that land.
And still has an Incubate token, which can be a 4/4 and then +1/+1 from the enchantment to make a 5/5
Yeah.
when need be.
And I believe we can flip the farmhand too.
Pretty close.
Okay.
Looks
Yep.
like just responding there.
Reckoner Bankbuster now down on the board, flipping the token. So we now have a little
Okay.
Phyrexian joining the fray.
And this looks like Autumn has 3 mana ready to go to flip. Farmhand can do this at instant speed, I believe, here.
Yeah. 2 lands in hand, I think we saw there from Autumn. So swinging in here,
Oh.
Season Cathar, lifelink.
Okay, yeah, actually you don't have 3 different powers because both
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bankbusters would be 5/5s.
Yeah, you're right.
So maybe a slight misstep there from Autumn. It definitely looked like she was poised to do that.
Yeah.
Still doing completely fine on this, unless Rafine plus Shieldred or something team up here to be able to deal a ton of damage from Judd.
They seem like the kind that would team up here, but we're going to see a tap, draw, discard from Rona, Herald of the Invasion.
Okay,
Attacking the Emperor down, so there she goes. No more Planeswalker to worry about, passes the turn back. Autumn's still at 7.
yep, can draw a card there. The land can also draw 2 cards with Ossification and Bankbuster.
Roadside Reliquary. Neat addition in the white base deck. Another Season Cathar, going to go find a land.
Now
we
there
have
are,
Covenant.
yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
now both of them can flip. So you can't really race this. As now this farmhand
Yeah.
flips into Baneslayer, basically. Flips into, all right, Boone Valkyrie. I'll stay with the times, I guess.
Boom
But
goes the dynamite, eh?
yeah,
Yeah, Season Cathar getting in there alongside the Samurai, and André Judd is getting beaten down by these critters, and flashing in the Urtai, taking that down, so no life gain from Autumn.
all right. This is Autumn turning the corner here, maybe putting herself in a position to be another one of our top 8 competitors here. Mythic Championship 1 champion.
Playing mono blue tempo.
That looks like the Eternal Wanderer.
That sure is.
Oh my, what are we doing here? Is this a Wrath effect? Leaving just the Incubate token for Autumn and just an Urtai for Judd.
Oh man, Eternal Wanderer, another excellent Planeswalker from All Will Be One.
Yeah. So there's Lauren to deal
Okay.
with that. You have a blocker there. Eternal Wanderer gets to stay alive. This almost looked like Autumn lost kind of just as many creatures, though.
Yeah.
Losing those farmhands seemed a little brutal for her.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would still say Autumn is well and truly in the driver's seat. But still, this is a close game now.
At the moment, it looks like André is just responding to everything that Autumn's doing, so
Yep.
no proactive plays right now. Ossification takes the Lorana the third path.
I saw Wandering Emperor as well in Autumn's hand there at a quick flash. That's going to be excellent.
Yeah, definitely.
Cranking
Especially if
out
Urtai
3/3s.
gets a little feisty, but
Yeah. That'd be
yeah,
real
with that
feisty.
Bankbuster, likely not going to happen there because we do have the Anthem effect, so the token can crew the vehicle. There's Rafine.
Rafine and no other cards for Judd. And Autumn can draw a ton of cards here. It looks like that land already went to the graveyard, so just the Bankbuster, but still drawing 2 cards a turn. Autumn's top decks are well and truly more powerful than Judd's.
Oh, for sure. So here comes the Wandering Emperor. Going to make more Samurai on the end step.
All right.
Let's just get smashing, huh?
Yep. And I mean, the Eternal Wanderer, you know, it really did its major big thing, but still has plenty of other options here. Autumn flashes, Ossification, and cut down.
That's going to be it. Autumn Burchett top 8ing once again.
What a relief there from Autumn, and you can see how much it meant to Judd as well.
Oh man, André, absolute heartbreak for him, absolute elation for Autumn Burchett, but what a run, André Judd.
Yeah, incredible. Our top 8 shaping up to be an all-timer here with so many Pro Tour champions.
Unbelievable stuff there. Congratulations, Autumn Burchett. Super tough luck for André, but you love to see it.
That's what we
love to see. Simon Nielsen giving Autumn a big old hug, and this is going to be such an awesome day tomorrow, Corey. I absolutely cannot wait.
Star-studded top 8 here.
We couldn't ask for more.
Oh, this is going to be an incredible day tomorrow. Incredible.
Friends, thank you so much for being with us to watch all of this, but we're not done yet. Yeah, my heart's left already. It's gone home. Jeez. Let's go. One more.
I mean, that's 4 players for our win-ins. We
One
have
more.
a 5th.
Ooh, look at this one.
The last top 8 spot will be either Cain Rianhard or Yuuki Ichikawa. 2
Let's go.
huge name players as well.
Unbelievable stuff. Yuuki Ichikawa. No stranger to these top tables. Game 3, let's jump in here.
Yep.
Both Reanimator strategies. So
Yuuki winning a Pro Tour with the old cat oven shenanigans here
My
a while
favorite.
back. Cain Rianhard being a Lotus Field expert as well. I watch his stream quite often to do some learning, especially in the Pioneer format.
well, let's kick things off here with a good old duress, shall we?
Okay, so that is a mulligan from both players. And one of the Fables being taken here, Cain does not have land 3 wrapped up to be able to cast the Fables, so he's going to need to cast something here. But in a Reanimator mirror, this hearse is excellent.
Yeah, hearse is certainly a great way to prevent any graveyard recursion from Yuuki Ichikawa.
Yep.
So let's get things going here and just start munching things in the yard, cycling away. And at Xander's Lounge.
All right.
You know, exile a couple more cards here, so.
Okay, and looks like, I believe, Yuuki
Duress,
missed a
nice.
land drop here. And this hearse is just going to be growing and growing.
Got the Cruelty of Gix there, got a Disdainful Stroke, Bankbuster, Blood-Tithe Harvester, and the Fable. So great hand here from Yuuki. What would you be taking?
Let's see, it's definitely contextual to hand, but so far there have been 3 Duresses cast this game, and there has been 3 Fable the Mirror Breakers that have been hit, and another one.
Jeez.
Wow, Duress Fest.
Oh, Corey, I'm too tired for this. Oh, man.
All right, so this hearse
This hearse is
getting
large.
super
It's
large.
got so many bodies in it right now. I
Yeah.
don't know if that is legal.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're going to need to find an Abrade more than likely at some point. Cain will find some creature to throw in that hearse at some point. So they kind of got it all wrapped up here.
Yeah,
Unless
both
Yuuki
players-
can draw some lands out of it here.
Both players at 1 game apiece here, so everything to play for in this final game as this hearse just keeps exiling. Chomping away on these cards.
And we
And
saw
as soon as it has something to crew it, oh boy, that is going to hurt.
exactly, but we did see a Disdainful Stroke, which is still left in Yuki's hand for sure. I saw Cain had a Atali as one of the cards in hand. They can't cast that now, but I'm not sure what the other card is. Keeping it close to their chest.
To their chest, yeah. It's like, just give us a little peek.
Exactly.
Just a little bit away from here.
Yuuki not wanting to cast anything there, has corpse appraisers.
yeah.
There's no corpses to appraise.
No. That's such a good, way to just turn it into vanilla creature.
Yep.
There's an Abrade, but not the one that Yuuki wanted to
Big
see.
draw. Big draw step there, land 4, so you can have Bankbuster plus counter magic available. Really, the thing that Cain wants now, well, I mean, the Abrades, Yuuki wants them on his side right now. But what Cain really wants is just a 2-drop, like a Blood-Tithe Harvester to be able to cast.
Just, something to put into this. Reckoner, Bankbuster, and a Licensed Hearse. Sure, you're nice vehicles, but where are your drivers?
Yep. There is a tapped land, and I think that last card is just a Tolly for Cain. Yuuki untaps and has got to find something to pressure because this hearse is going to run rampant.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be some reckless driving here, no doubt, as soon as we find a pilot for this vehicle for Cain Rianhard. We are digging with this regular bankbuster. Just land go, so...
Land go.
Oh, boy. This is like watching a bomb ticking down slowly.
Yes, eventually this hearse is just going to completely take over. I'm going to do a check to see how many abrades we even have.
Sideboard 2 for Cain.
Yeah, and 3 abrades in the main for Yuuki, so they are there.
They're there. They just
are there.
Not on time.
So, yeah.
They're late for the funeral.
Okay, there is the pilot. There comes 13 damage and it connects. Cain is 1 attack away from a top 8 appearance here.
Yuuki Ichikawa, does he have an answer for Cain Rianhard's massive vehicle? Oh.
Disdainful stroke, corpse appraiser.
He's got a corpse appraiser to block, but yeah.
Okay, there was the go for the throat.
Killing the pilot, all right.
And there was no way for Yuuki to do that in such a way where he didn't take damage from Cain. Okay, there's a harvester.
Harvester blood token needs an abrade for this vehicle. Go for the throat, it's not going to cut it.
Yep. And now if Cain does go for land Atali, that's the one answer Yuuki has, but Cain still knows about...
Yeah, the disdainful stroke.
Yeah, still knows about the stroke.
Oh,
okay.
Fable, that makes a 2-drop. Or makes it 2-2, I should say.
It sure does. Is there a removal spell for the harvester? Okay, there's a harvester.
That's 2 pilots.
Yeah, you can drive both cars at this point.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So Bankbuster in, just that for the time being.
Doesn't want to lose to some kind of Atali cruelty shenanigans.
Yeah, but we can just glean that there's nothing of the sort for Yuuki Ichikawa.
This hearse has just done so much heavy lifting here.
Oh yeah. Just keeping those graveyards clean.
There goes Disdainful Stroke to the yard, so Cain knows, at least thinks, that the coast is clear for Atali if they top deck another land. And there's the abrade for the hearse. Wow, what a game.
Unbelievable stuff, but yeah, just quickly exiling that. Good job, hearse. Half the life total of Yuuki Ichikawa taken down from that hearse.
That does unlock Yuki's ability to corpse appraise a harvester, at least here, to try to find something, but now, all of a sudden, Cain is just going wide on this battlefield on Yuuki.
Man, what a game.
I believe that point back and forth usually indicates turns.
Turns, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this game will be over before turns are up, as we see Corpse Appraiser.
I mean, if Cain wins, it will, but not if Yuuki wins. This looks like Yuuki cannot close this game out in time, so it's either Cain going or somebody else is sneaking in.
Negate to take care of the go for the throat there on the Corpse Appraiser. But so much stuff on Cain's side of the battlefield here. 2 Blood Tithe Harvesters, a Bankbuster, as well as the Goblin.
And now let's see, do you just point a Harvester there? Then Harvester on the Corpse Appraiser. You can crew up the Bankbuster, attack for 6.
That's it. That's going to be it. In for 6. The hand is extended, and that is Cain Rianhard in the top 8 here.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's so great to see. I have, played a lot of Magic in the same area as Cain for quite a while. They're an incredible Magic player, and it's nice to see the success at the highest stage, and you can see what it means to Cain. Oh, that's incredible.
Man. Congratulations, Cain. What a superb performance into the top 8 amongst some incredible, incredible Magic players, Corey.
Wow, what a top 8 we have here, and what amazing moments that we just got to witness with these 5 win-ins.
Yeah, I got some goosebumps. Thank you very much, Cain Rianhard, for giving us that, because I cannot wait to watch these players tomorrow. If you think that these reactions are good, please come back tomorrow and watch. See what this means to these players. One of them who will be champion, $50,000 richer. and hoisting that trophy at the end of it all. Unbelievable stuff here, Corey. I
Unbelievable.
cannot wait for tomorrow.
What a great round.
Oh, my friends.
What a great round.
I need to go and sit down. So we're going to pass it over to Maria Bartholdi. She's going to wrap up the day for us and tell us what to expect tomorrow.
Thank you so